All right, so welcome everybody. We're talking about phones today, one of my favorite topics. I'm sure it's yours as well. So before I kick off, I want to start with the sizzle, because that's the exciting stuff, and then we can all kind of go ooh and ah. But I'm going to bring in a friend. That's Solomon here. And I'm going to mute so that we don't have terrible audio after I say, Solomon, you're all set to go, man. Show us what you got. Awesome. Thanks, Solomon. Whoop. All right, now we're going to switch. So I showed you that because I just wanted to give you an idea of kind of what we have capabilities of in modern phone systems, right? Because, you know, in the old days, when you think about bots, it was terrible. You go in and you type in, and all you can do is think about how you can get to a human being. How do I get to a person? How do I get to an agent, right? The new version of that is fantastic, and we have lots of different options that we bring to the table at HiPoCON to get you to that spot, right? So these are the folks. Whoops, what's that about? Let's get that out of here. All right, so these are the folks that talk phones for HiPoCON Network. So I'm Terry. I've been in this business for about 25 years. With that, I've worked for a couple of Tier 1 carriers. I've worked for ShoreTel. I don't know if you noticed the shoes, but they say ShoreTel on the back. ShoreTel for about 7 years. How many people in here have a ShoreTel? Just one? Okay, how about MyTel? All right, thanks. All right. So, and then we've got Brian here. He's your MyTel Uber guru genius. Chris could not make it due to some family things today, which is unfortunate. Medine is also here. He's just here to look good. But if you combine the four people that talk phones here at HiPoCON, we have 94 years of experience, right? So that's us. We've been doing this a long time. And the reason I have Yoda up here is because we continue to learn more. And that's what we're really talking about today is where we came from is fine. Phones, kind of got boring. There wasn't a lot to it. But now the new stuff that we have moving forward is absolutely awesome. So we still have a lot to learn as it continues to grow and evolve into new, cool stuff. So the old days, we had, analog. Then we went into VoIP, right? So we had our voice over IP. And then we go into messaging and we go into chat. Then we start adding video conferencing. And a lot of these are disparate systems in the old days, right? You get the team collaboration, Anybody heard of Teams, right? That's kind of a newfangled thing. A couple of people are doing it. And then we started moving into the cloud-powered unified communication as a service. So I'm sadly old enough that I saw all of that. So all the way back to analog to IP, just long time ago. So, but what do we have now, right? We have all of these different tools. They can talk to your CRMs. They can do data dips. They can do screen pops. They can look up data like we just saw from a FAQ and provide a ton of feedback to a caller that's coming in. And what that's going to do is it's going to provide a significantly better customer experience. So when your customers are calling you, you have so many tools in today's world to enhance that customer experience. So, and we've added more tools. Call recording. Used to be you had to go buy a third-party call recording server and pay a bunch of money and do all your maintenance and upgrades and everything with that. Now pretty much all of the players in the game have really advanced call recording. You can offload them into cloud storage. You can keep them on site. You can keep them for decades if you want to, right? And if you're talking about contact center, that's not just call recording. That's screen recording. That's transcription. That's everything that goes on in that call. So if you have an agent or even someone working in a back office and someone complains they had a terrible experience, you can go in, look at that call, look at the customer sentiment of that call. You can look at the recording of that call. All that information is available to you, just like that, with pretty much all the modern phone systems, right? So CRM integrations, this is fantastic stuff because you now enable your people to know who's calling and potentially what they called about last time. So you might have an idea what they're calling about this time, right? So I see that Tom Smith is calling. I can see that Tom Smith called in yesterday, and he was really mad. Okay, this is probably not going to be a good call, so I'm going to answer it in the nicest, gentlest way I can. Hey, Tom, how you doing? Feeling good today? And he's probably going to start yelling at me. But at least I know that he's going to start yelling at me because I have deep CRM integration that'll let me know that in advance. And so that also then starts to enhance your internal people's experience. Because it's not just about your external customer. We also need to keep your internal customers happy. Because I don't know if you've ever been around a lot of contact centers, there's a lot of turnover. Tons, right? Stop laughing, it's true. So you get a ton of turnover. Well, if we can enhance those people's experience by giving them more information, more data up front, that actually can help keep people in seats, reduce turnover, save costs, so you're not training new people, like a revolving door. So the customizable APIs, this is to allow us to connect into other systems, other single sources of truth, wherever your records are kept. So maybe you've got a CRM, you've got an ERP, you've got all these different things. We can bring them all together with different types of APIs. So a lot of stuff we couldn't do back in the ShoreTel days, way back when. So who remembers this? You call, you jam a button, maybe you hit 0 because you don't want to hit the button 6 times, and then that button takes you back to the original button, and all of a sudden you're in what I call the auto attendant hell, okay? That was very common in the old days, and then sometimes you'd get hung up on, sometimes you'd end up in a voicemail box, and sometimes, good Lord, you'd actually get to talk to a human being. And think how great you felt when you actually got to talk to a human being. You were like, I just won the freaking lottery because I got to a human being. Well, in today's world, we're going to use things like that AI bot that we just saw on the screen with Solomon, and we're going to eliminate all that. We're going to have that call come in. Oh, she's taking photos. So we're going to have that call come in. We're going to be able to hit a CRM. We're going to be able to see, hey, maybe this customer's got $1 billion in the bank. So we're just going to route them. I'm using bank examples. We're going to route them right to a personal banker. Like, no waiting. You're going to talk to somebody. Well, what happens if now we come in, we need smart routing, we see that this person owes us money. What if we can just immediately see this customer owes us money and route them right to accounts receivable? So they don't get to talk to anybody until they pay that bill. That's good for business. Probably not good for the caller, but it's good for business, right? So using smart routing and getting to the right person, the right time, is going to give you that quick resolution. Not only are you going to have quick first call resolutions, again, happier people internally because we're getting calls to the right people the first time, all because of the smart routing. So, excuse me. So this is really kind of agent focused, call center focused, but having a single unified desktop tool. So I remember the days where I had a desktop app for one thing, and then I had to go to a website for my contact center, and I had my CRM on another screen, and I had to have 4 monitors just to keep up with it all, right? Now, we put it all in one app. So you get caller ID, you can get screen pop information, you can actually pop customer record information all in one app. You can do all your chatting, your SMS, all your collaboration, everything, all in one desktop app, right? We've brought it all together. And I think that's fantastic because now I'm down to 2 monitors. They're huge, but there's only 2 of them. So, and then I'm a big fan of this gaming and coaching. So with gamification, this is where you have agents and you could say, hey, whoever has the biggest reduction in handle time today over last week, we're going to get you a gift card, right? So you're going to be able to put up on dashboards in most of the modern contact centers and say, hey, here's the game for the day. Who can get the fastest answer? Who can take the most client calls today? And you get real-time dashboards that actually adjust while the day is going on, and you can use that to help really motivate people. And believe it or not, agents and call centers love this stuff. Because if you've got somebody who's just grabbing every call, they want to be the best because they want that $25 gift card every day, it's nuts to see how much benefit you get out of a $25 gift card. It's just awesome because they'll just fight for that, right? And then we talked about intelligent call routing. You saw those admin tasks. If you think about phone systems, say 10 years ago, and you needed to set up a call flow and the data that this guy just did 5 minutes ago, how much keyboarding are you going to do all that if you could do it at all? In today's modern systems, you saw him set that thing up in, 2 minutes? Fully functional, answered his questions about barbecue, gave him a recipe, told him to rub his ribs, right? So I think that's what I took out of that, because that's what you were doing. Yeah, workforce management, another great tool, right? Built into most of the systems today. So you need to optimize your people, because what's the most expensive people in most businesses, and especially contact centers? It's people. So if you now have workforce management and workforce optimization tools just built in to say, hey, we get the most calls Monday between 1 and 4 o'clock than any other time of the week. That's when you need to staff. So now you've got software built into your solution that can help you staff around what you need. You know, if Thursday at 9 a.m. you never get any calls, why do you have a contact center full of people Thursday at 9 a.m.? Let the software do that for you, right? So anybody kind of familiar, I'm going to put some people on the spot. Difference between omni-channel and multi-channel. Nobody. Okay, you, yes, sir, right up front. Thank you for volunteering.
Well, that's not fair.
What do you got?
Is that the right answer?
I love it. Yeah, and the other thing that we can do with that is we can actually move calls from one medium to another.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I'm on an SMS conversation with a client, and hey, we need to talk. Can you go ahead and click right here, and all of a sudden it moves to a call, right? You don't lose the call. It stays as part of that customer journey, right? If you could go from a chat to an SMS or a chat to a call to an SMS, you can move the interactions with your clients between the different modes that we have within the contact center. That's truly omni-channel, which then gives you phenomenal levels of reporting, phenomenal levels of analytics, and you can see, like I said, the entire customer journey. And then you can actually look at that journey with today's modern tools, which is going to be, sentiment analysis. And maybe you can see, every time we move somebody from a chat to a call, all of a sudden their sentiment goes from yellow to green. Wow, maybe we should get people moved from chat to calls faster because we can see that we have a better customer experience that way. Omni-channel allows you to do things like that, whereas multi-channel, you're literally siloing each of the different modalities that you can use to call into the center. Make sense? Can I get a hell yeah? There we go, all right. All right, oh, I like the amen. I'm going to use that next time. So this is a cool one because embracing omni-channel, and yes, I know that's a really straight line, so it seems fake, but I didn't make the chart, I just brought the chart. So by using omni-channel, what we're finding is that you get a better customer experience. So as there's a greater deployment of omni-channel, customer experience throughout contact centers consistently moves up and to the right. So the more you move away from that siloed, who's ever, been on a call, this is a sort of different example, but I'm on a call and I get transferred somewhere else and I have to repeat everything I just spent 10 minutes telling the agent. Anybody? Or is it just me? So, because that's a flippin' nightmare, right? Nobody likes that. So using Modern Contact Center, when you move that call, and whether you move that call from a chat over to a call or for a chat to an SMS because the person's got to run, they're not going to be there, hey, let's do it via SMS. We'll just transfer it over. What's your number? All of those things really greatly enhance that customer experience, right? So if you want to provide a better experience for both your internal and external, omni-channel is a nice way to do it, okay? So, and then as we just saw, the AI is driving all of this stuff, okay? So whether it be a virtual chatbot, whether it even be a virtual agent, the thing to keep in mind, though, is we aren't in any way trying to remove the people from contact center. We're trying to enhance what those people are capable of doing. We give them more tools, better tools, more access to information. What if, just out of curiosity, you were talking with someone and that person said, hey, what's my account balance? And because we have access to their Jack Henry, their Fiserv, or whatever this single source of truth is, before the agent can even answer, the AI bot has already gone in and looked it up. So customer says, hey, what's my account balance in this account? Agent simply looks down, sees that the AI said their balance is $74. Or maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just my balance. But how about tools like that? If a customer calls in and say, hey, can you tell me what my account number is? Before the agent even goes to touch that single source of truth, it's already in front of them because we're using AI tools, right? And then, as I mentioned already, I love sentiment analysis because we can actually prove in demo how a call can go from a red to a green to a yellow, back to a green, right? Based on keywords and tone of voice. How slick is that? So if you're on if I'm a supervisor, I can actually see in real time on a dashboard if somebody's mad at my agent. Because I look down and I see a little red face, and I can go, oh, hey, little red face. I click on that call, and now I can see the transcript. Not only can I see the transcript, it's going to highlight the words that made it into a bad call. So I can go, oh, that's not an appropriate word. Now I know why that is, right? And then if you can sit there and watch, and then if the agent says the right things to recover, you'll see it go from red to yellow and hopefully back to green. Now when I say we can test this in demo, I can have a live call going, and let's say we're, again, talking about a bank. I've got a live call going, and if someone says the words close my account, all of a sudden the sentiment of that call goes from green to red. Supervisor can see that it's red, agent can see that it's red, and now you can have potentially a supervisor literally in real time jump in and say, hey, I'm the supervisor. I see you want to close an account. Let's chat about it, right? Instant support for that agent. That will reduce agent churn, right? Save you money, which is fantastic. So we've done predictive call routing, we've done the chat bots, and then the smart summaries, man, these are cool. Because this isn't just a contact center feature, by the way. This is a UC feature. So you have a phone call. At the end of that call, you actually get a summary of that call, what was discussed, what the action items are, what everybody's duties are to do after that call, all summarized in an email or in your client. That's pretty awesome stuff. Especially with me, because I'm getting more gray, I'm losing more hair. I don't really have any more to lose. And I don't remember all this stuff anymore. And I don't love sitting and taking notes. And with today's technology and phone systems, I don't have to take any notes. I literally just have my phone call. At the end of that phone call, I get an AI summary of everything that was discussed. Everything. And it even comes with some links in there, so if I need to, I can click the link, and it will take me right to that portion of the recorded call so that I can review it. So this is some of the fun stuff. So just kind of a recap, right? Inherent scalability, that second bullet is one of my favorite things about moving into cloud spaces in particular, is there is no limit, right? You could be on a cloud-based solution and you could go from 5 users to 50,000 users. You don't have to worry about hardware. You don't have to worry about software. You don't have to worry about server size, capacity, any of those things. Because all the cloud solution providers, it's just there, right? So you can expand dramatically overnight, right? All completely scalable, completely secure, and really easy, especially if you don't use phones. How many people are going to look at a phone system and say, I don't want phones on the desk? Two? Come on. So at HiPoint, when we rolled out our cloud-based solution, our CTO, is that who did it? CTO said, nobody's getting a phone. Nobody. And if you don't like it, come see me in a month and explain to me why. He does kind of sound like a pirate that way, doesn't he? So, yeah. And so, you know how many people went in and asked for a phone? To my knowledge, I wasn't here, but I've been told. 0. My previous employer, same thing. We changed buildings. There were 600 of us. CIO said, nobody's getting a phone. If you think you need a phone, after a month, come see me. It's uncanny how they did the exact same thing. Not one person went and asked for a phone. So I'm not advocating for no more phones. I just, so you know, when it comes to scale, if let's just say for argument's sake, you're acquiring a company. You can acquire that company, have them on that phone system the next day. They're going to use soft phones, but who's not used to using Teams? Who's not used to using Zoom? Who's not used to using cool Ring Central tools? I'm trying to include everybody. Wait, is Intermedia still here? Who's not used to using Intermedia, right? We'll just pick them all. So it's really easy to scale and build. And then the next bullet, the data privacy and security, all of these solutions that we do are going to be, Graham-Leach-Bliley, GDPR, PCI, go down the list. HIPAA, you pick your one. They're all going to be very secure. That doesn't mean that everyone in the world is not trying to hack these guys, but it's still a phone system. They're probably less likely to get hacked than Apple. Maybe, I don't know. Or Microsoft. I didn't want to pick on them, though. And then the customization piece, this is huge. I mean, it's kind of what I've been talking about this whole time. You can customize these tools to whatever your individual business needs. In the old days, you had a phone system, and you kind of had to morph your communications around what that system was capable of. Nowadays, these systems are so capable that you can customize them to do whatever your business needs. How about that for a cool change? I'm going to customize my call routing, my call flows, everything around what my customers need. Versus, all right, we got to figure out a way to do this because our customers are mad and our phone system does this. How are we going to do it? Nowadays, you just change how your phone system works. Piece of cake, right? Strong partner, that's us. I had to throw a little plug in there for us. We're really good at this, as I mentioned, in the voice space. 94 years of experience between 4 people, right? 4 people. I didn't want to drive, it's not my clicker. So that's a lot. And we've done a lot of things. We've all been kind of sales engineers. We've all been deployment engineers. We've all done this stuff. So we can really help guide this decision onto what is the best platform, right? Do you need a Mitel? Do you want to stay on the premises? Maybe you want to do FortiVoice. Maybe you want to move to the cloud. Whatever the case may be, we're going to help consult, bring our consulting and our years of experience to you to help find out what's going to be the best solution.